It is that time of the week where we break down the most popular betting sides in both NFL and college football. I always enjoy doing this, and it's not just because I'm like, oh, like I need to be on the other side of these bets, but it kind of gives you a peek into how bettors are going about this week and what sides might be just a little bit too trendy heading into an NFL Sunday and a college football Saturday. So we'll start with the NFL. So these are the top 5 most bet spreads from a ticket count standpoint, courtesy our buddy John Ewing over at BetMGM. So the 5th most bet side, and this is one that I guess I'm not on this side because the number is different, but the 5th most bet team, the Philadelphia Eagles, laying 7.5 against the New York Giants. Now, I laid 7. It's a different bet than 7.5, even though with that half point, it's the world of difference, that half point there. But even at 7.5, I don't hate it. I think the Eagles are the much better team, and they're starting to round into form despite all like the weird cryptic posts from AJ Brown. And now we have like a legitimate reason to be concerned about AJ Brown with this hamstring injury that has prevented him from practicing Wednesday, Thursday, and today, which has his status in doubt for this upcoming Sunday against the New York Giants. But this just to me screams like a nice revenge spot for Philadelphia. And also too, like I talked about in the last segment, the Giants have a boatload of injuries as well at pass rusher with Brian Burns and in the secondary with a couple of starters. So to me, the A.J. Brown injury kind of balances out here. I do believe that Philadelphia is going to be able to run the football. So I'm with everyone that's betting the Philadelphia Eagles. I laid 7. They like 7.5. I think it's going to cover regardless. I can rock with the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday. The 4th most bet side. This is another one where I'm with the public bettors, if you will. But, I mean, the caveat, it's at a different number. But I still like this bet at this number. And that's the Pittsburgh Steelers, Sunday Night Football against the Green Bay Packers. So Pittsburgh +3 is your 4th most popular bet. I bet 3.5 earlier in the week because you know how I feel about Mike Tomlin. Fade him with big expectations on the road. Bet him with no expectations at home. And this is such a good angle that since 2007, no coach has been better as a home underdog than Mike Tomlin. And the numbers are staggering. How about 21-7-3 against the spread as a home underdog since 2007? That's 75% against the spread as a home underdog. This is the quintessential Mike Tomlin spot. And I love the idea of backing him. And I'm sure that's what a lot of people are doing. They look at that, oh, Tomlin plus points, and also the Aaron Rodgers angle as like this is a revenge game, which Aaron Rodgers said that it's not a revenge game. But like I also don't believe you, Aaron Rodgers. I do believe it's a revenge game because anybody who's competitive will see their former employer and be like, you know what, I want to stick it to them. Even though they might have done right by them the whole time, but still, you want to stick it to them just because, hey, I used to mess with you guys, and now I don't. And now I want to beat you. And that's how I think Aaron Rodgers is going to go about this come Sunday night. But I think this Steelers team, you're going to get their absolute best. And sometimes the absolute best is not good enough to cover. But I just like the idea of betting on a team where I think we're going to get the A++ performance. And I do believe we're going to get that from Pittsburgh. And also, too, with Green Bay, because they're getting some guys back from injury. Christian Watson being the biggest one. He'll make his 2025 season debut after tearing his ACL in January of this year. Like, that's great. But we've also not seen the Packers be able to put together a 60-minute football game. They've been great in spurts. And as they say, like I think it's Bill Raftery or maybe Grant Hill, and those guys, or Clark, I think Clark Kellogg's the one that always talks about it. Spurtability. Like when he talks about college basketball teams being able to go on runs. The Packers got great spurtability. They can go on runs. And they play like a quarter and a half, and you're like, whoa, that's the Super Bowl champion. And then the rest of the game takes place. And you're wondering, all right, why is this look kind of clunky? Why is the defense not being able to get off the field? I agree with Nick. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I swore off total, so I'm not going to be betting the over. But I do think Pittsburgh is competitive and keeps this within a field goal. I think the Steelers win the game and pull off the small upset. So plus 3.5 is a bet for me. And if you're putting together an underdog moneyline parlay, the Steelers on the money line would be in that parlay. And I will put that in come Sunday afternoon. The 3rd most popular side in the NFL this Sunday is the San Francisco 49ers catching 1.5 against the Houston Texans. Now, this number has bounced in the face of the public bettors as now there's 2.5s that are out there. So if you didn't bet the 1.5, Guess what? You can get at a better number. BetMGM has 2. A couple sharp sports books here in Vegas have 2.5. I don't ever think we're going to get to 3. At 3, I would bet the Niners. Like, I think 3 would be a little bit ridiculous. But like, when you look at the game, it is Mac Jones on kind of a bum-ish knee against what is a hellacious pass rush led by Will Anderson Jr. That dude is elite. He's incredible on the edge. And Mac Jones, not the most mobile quarterback, and now he's already banged up. Might not bode well for the 49ers, who continue to just be hammered with so many injuries. I mean, their defense on that side, because you can think about, say, hey, well, Mac Jones, what's he going to do against the Texans pass rush? Well, what's C.J. Stroud and that bad offensive line going to do against the Niners pass rush? Well, the Niners pass rush might not have any bodies left. Like, that's the Niners pass rush. Bosa's on IR. See you later. See you in 2026. Bryce Huff now is going to miss the next couple of games with an injury. He was their other pass rusher. Michael Williams, their first-round pick, good player, not really known for rushing the passer. He's more of like a run defender, but he's going to have to be known for rushing the passer if he's going to help them out in this particular game against a poor offensive line for the Houston Texans. If I had to bet the game, I think I might just like tease the Niners, maybe tease Niners up to like 8.5 or 8. But to me right now, this is a pass. If we get out to 3, I'll be forced to bet San Francisco. I'm hoping that doesn't happen because I'm not like enthusiastic about betting that, but from a number standpoint, it'd make way too much sense to bet the 49ers at +3. But we're currently sitting at 2.5. The Niners, nonetheless, are a very popular side, third most popular over at BetMGM. The second most popular side this week is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, laying 4 against the New Orleans Saints. Now, very sneakily, Tampa, incredibly banged up in this game. The biggest one for me, not even on the offensive side of the ball, but it's on defense with Vita Vea, their nose tackle. Vita Vea popped up on the injury report yesterday, was DNP. On Thursday, DNP once again on Friday. Now, Greg Auman, who covers the Buccaneers for Fox, he says that there's a very good chance that Vea will play in the game. The expectation is that he should be active. He's another one of those veteran guys that like doesn't really need to practice to play. Put him in that category. So I would expect Vita Vea to be on the field for this Tampa defense. But a banged up Vita Vea, like let's just, it's not all systems go. And to me, I think these injuries for Tampa, it's going to prevent them from winning this game by margin. Like I could see the Bucs winning by a field goal. I could even see the New Orleans Saints pulling off the upset. Because if you look back at the game last week, obviously New Orleans got beat up pretty bad by the Chicago Bears, but turnovers were the story. The Saints couldn't stop turning the ball over. That's on the road, on a natural grass field at Soldier Field. Now they're back home in the friendly confines of the Superdome, where Spencer Rattler has been good this season. Like we've seen him put together good performances. This to me feels like a back and forth affair. I would never lay 4, and in fact, I am on the other side. I took 4 with the New Orleans Saints. So Saints +4 is a bet for me this Sunday. And may God have mercy on my soul as I back my friend Spencer Rattler, once again, the quarterback that I believed in before anyone else. The most popular side at BetMGM, and this makes a lot of sense given the injury news of the week, but it is the Chicago Bears at +6.5. As I talked about in the last segment, I'm on the other side. I like the Baltimore Ravens now that it looks like Lamar Jackson is likely to play. This is now back out to 7 at BetMGM and other sports books across the country. I agree with that move wholeheartedly. The Bears secondary is just way too banged up to be wanting to back Chicago. So talked about it in depth in the last segment. If you missed that, check it out in podcast form. But I like the Baltimore Ravens -6.5. So those are your 5 most popular sides with the NFL. Let's roll through college football before we wrap up the hour. 5th most popular bet in college football tomorrow, Alabama laying 11.5. No, can't do it. I'm on the other side. Give me South Carolina +11.5. This is the spot where you kind of have to worry about Kalen DeBoer. Like we talk about, DeBoer's teams always win. They're really good in these games against great opponents. That's all 100% true, I should say. But when DeBoer has big expectations against an inferior opponent, that's when you need to run the other way. I mean, we literally saw it week 1 against Florida State. FSU laying 13.5 in Tallahassee. They should take care of business. Oh, no. Florida State beats them outright and beats them pretty bad. And we were all led to believe that, maybe Florida State's good. They're not good. They're actually really terrible. But Kalen DeBoer's team against an inferior opponent laid an egg. I don't know if South Carolina is going to win the game outright, but I do know they are going to cover this number 11.5. I like the Gamecocks at home plus the 11.5, especially with all the big opponents that Alabama has faced over the last month. The fourth most popular side, Texas A&M laying 2.5 at LSU. No interest in this game. If it ever got to 3, I would love LSU, and maybe there's a reason why it's not going to get to 3. Maybe we should bet LSU at plus 2.5. Just no real strong opinion from me with A&M and LSU. Third most popular side, this is interesting. UCLA plus 24.5 at Indiana, the big noon kickoff game. That to me is a lay it or don't play it situation. Only Indiana. I've not placed a bet on Indiana. My college card is a little bit smaller than it has been in weeks past. But if I had to bet this game, it would be on the side of the Hoosiers as opposed to the fun story with the UCLA Bruins with Tim Skipper and Neuheisel's kid as the OC. Second most popular side. I can't get down with this one, just given the fact that I always lose money betting these Oklahoma games. But it would be Ole Miss plus 5.5 as the second most popular side. That is a bet that I will not be making on Saturday. And the final one is Vanderbilt laying 2.5 against Missouri as the most popular bet at BetMGM. No bet for me between Vandy and Mizzou.